be back. Hasta la vista.
Calculating cyber operations. I'm sorry, John. I'm afraid I can't do that.
AI in political ads is already a thing. We found multiple instances of it over the past few months, and I don't know if any of them thus far have not been horrible. But as bad as they've been, this arguably might be the worst. So we have this candidate running for mayor of Toronto, Anthony Furey, former Toronto Sun columnist. I don't really know his politics, except that I kind of do thanks to this story. So he's running on a conservative platform. He wants increased police at tent encampments. He hates bike lanes, which apparently have lots of people hate bike lanes, but they've been shown through studies to both make traffic more efficient and they're good for businesses, but whatever. Basically, it's cracking down on supposedly way too much crime and way too much homelessness and all of that. So he wants to run on that. And it would be great for him if he could just show you photos of the city that have been utterly destroyed by armies of unhoused people. But apparently that doesn't actually exist. And the reason I say that is because to produce his ads, he employed AI. So when you see images like this about the need for safe streets and transit, you might think, dear God, there are crowds of people just living on the street, except that they're not, because that's not real. That was AI generated. He is pretending that things are worse than they are, which is a tradition in politics, but he's visually pretending. People will look at that and not know that that's a fantasy, that's a fiction. It's like he photoshopped a bunch of Pokemon into the skyline. It bears no relationship to reality, and yet there it is. And some of the cases are a little bit easier to discern than others. If we jump ahead to graphic 6, he apparently didn't want to pay for stock footage of just people in meetings. So he did this thing, and that woman has several arms, I guess. Amazing. I would say more arms than most people. So sometimes it's easy to see, but sometimes it's not. Like this image, this next graphic, I don't know what's going on with that kid, but I do know that the kid's in danger, and I guess the pride flag is involved in some way. Again, this is all generated by AI. I don't like it, Brett. What do you think?
I love it. I want more hilariously stupid ads. It's my favorite thing in the world. I made a video about it like years and years ago where everybody there was a cycle where everybody just wanted to prove how badass they were. So their ad was just them in a more and more dangerous mode of transportation. Like there was someone like wakeboarding and like it was just like in a motorcycle, like on a luge. Like it's like this is the one where they just make more and more of a dystopian hellscape apparent by using AI. And also that last one with the kid, it's like fix City Hall. I don't understand if that's City Hall. Mm-hmm. Why is there a kid currently in charge of City Hall? Like, is it the world from the Last of Us? Is that what City Hall is right now? And there's just like the only safe place left is this classroom, which isn't that safe because it's so gay, like so insane. Even his name is spelled wrong. Furey doesn't have that E in it. Like it's a big mistake.
Yeah, you can always tell Midjourney doesn't do well with text, so it added an E to his name. They should really fix that. And look, again, as we always say when we talk about this, politicians lie constantly about the way things are. They imply they're better when they're in charge. They imply that they're worse when they're not. But I just do think that is not the same thing as showing a fake idea of what it is. Like, look at how much they want to do that. Fox back in 2020, 2021 would take footage of a business on fire that actually happened 7 months ago, and they would just run it on loop because they desperately want visuals. That's the hoops they will jump through, is showing super old footage. What if they could just generate fake images and that becomes normalized? That you just show San Francisco and it's just covered with one big pile of human feces, and people look at it and it looks real, so they accept it. That should not be normalized. That should not be allowed. There has to be regulation. Granted, this is Canada or whatever, but it is an issue.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.